Welcome to Mike Teller News. Short special report. Mr. Poole on Telegram. Iran wasn't the only issue here. It had to do with the pattern. To cloud the mirror once more, they start a new war narrative every time the public approaches clarity. Iraq was fabrication. Syria was fake. Ukraine was a snare. And the last point of ignition was supposed to be Iran. However, before the spark could ignite, I saw the wire being pulled. Do you believe that Trump deleted that video for the sake of history? Question mark. No, it was an intercepted signal transmitted over frequencies that very few people still listen to. He revealed the narrator. The scriptwriter was named. In the process, the punchline was obliterated. Netanyahu was never meant to be framed in that way. Sachs did not do it. Trump did not repost it. However, it is now available. The dominoes stopped falling forward after that. They paused. What follows? A reset of the media. They will attempt to reframe the threat by claiming it is now economic, bio, or cyber. However, the public's mood has changed. They're not going to bite. The legs of the illusion are gone. Next step? Question mark. Keep an eye out for a controlled escalation that doesn't get out of hand. Somewhere, expect a strike, but nothing happens after it. That's your hint. It's removal now, not war. Silence is never empty, as I have stated. There is precision to this silence. Additionally, if you're reading this, you are now involved in the operation. Remain in sync. Keep an eye on the dates. July will blaze a trail across the world's narrative. However, missiles won't be used. The truth will be revealed. I continue to broadcast. All you need to do is know where to look. Leaked huge bioweapon and grid attack on the U.S. stopped. Deep state traitors exposed. A classified military alert has leaked, confirming what many feared. America was hours away from a coordinated EMP and bioweapon attack, with sleeper agents working for the government. The news is quiet, but now internal sources have confirmed the truth, and the military that supports Trump stopped it just in time. For weeks, military intelligence watched encrypted messages between Iranian satellites, sleeper cells in the US, and cargo routes that went through Mexico and Venezuela. What they found was shocking. EMP devices had been smuggled into several cities such as Dallas, Atlanta, and Chicago. These weren't just regular tools. They were military grade electromagnetic weapons made to take down power grids, cut off communications, and destabilize QFS infrastructure all at once. See the KKK, Joe Biden side, the KKK, well, they act like BLM now. They're trying to make it where they're going to be controlling the money with a fake digital currency or something. Anyway, at the same time, synthetic bioweapons made from stolen data from a Wuhan biolab were being ready for release. These weren't normal viruses. They were engineered pathogens made to attack immune systems that had been wrecked by mRNA. You know, they were made to look like autoimmune disorders and get around CDC detection. But the real betrayal came from the inside. People in FEMA, DHS, and Blue State National Guard units who were traitors were told to stay out of the way during the chaos. In return, they were promised safety and protection in bunkers controlled by the elite. Then the operation was made public. On June 21st, 2025, Donald J. Trump, through the restored U.S. military command, gave the order for a full spectrum attack on Iran's Fordo, Natzez, and Isfahan's facilities. These bombings weren't in response to something. They were planned ahead of time. Intel said that the blackout and bioweapons attack on the U.S. was set to start within 48 hours. Stealth bombers and submarines were already in place. At the same time, QFS data centers and Starlink grid nodes went into defense mode, getting ready for EMP and cyber attacks. Cyber Command stopped foreign firmware changes in Chinese-made smart grid parts. These are the same systems that have been linked to recent unexplained blackouts in Phoenix, Detroit, and parts of Florida. Those accidents were practice runs. Two convoys carrying bioweapon canisters that looked like oxygen tanks were stopped by military forces near El Paso on June 19th. The destination was an underground storage facility near Austin that was connected to Soros backed NGOs that pretended to be emergency response units. The operatives, who were trained in Iran and pretended to be civilian contractors, were arrested and moved according to Gitmo military rules. The internal courts have already started that it, wait, the internal courts have already started. At least 14 U.S. officials and 5 corporate exclusives have been arrested for working together and trying to hurt the company. Their names are kept secret for national security reasons, but leaks say that top people from FEMA and Silicon Valley Biotech were involved. The emergency broadcast system is now ready to go. In the next few days, there will be a 72-hour blackout drill to practice what to do if the grid goes down while there is a threat. Patriots should stock up on supplies, back up their digital files with Q-chip wallets, and stay alert. This was the deep state's last chance to stop Trump from coming back, stop the QFS transition, and bury Nasara for good. It didn't work, but this war isn't done yet. Stay sharp. Keep your independence. Justice is on the move. They tried to silence her. Now millions listen. Okay, skip that one. Alexander R. Wick, 38, of Portland, was arrested while trying to blow up an IED on Interstate 5, one of the most important highways in the United States. He is a radicalized, non-binary Antifa activist and the CEO of Cascadia Carbon Inc. This is a ragged-ass dude, millionaire, man. A fuck piece of shit. See if he's a good dude. This was not a lone wolf act. It was part of a plan to make the country's infrastructure less stable. WIC is just one part of a bigger network that was built during the Biden administration and is now being torn down by President Donald J. Trump restored leadership. The attack happened the day before Trump's rally in Spokane, and not long after intelligence leaks showed that there were plans to sabotage U.S. logistics corridors. WIC put up road cones, boards with nails on them, and an explosive device on I-5. Witnesses say that he openly said he had a bomb and the threat was real. Police confirmed that the device was working and could kill people on impact. He wasn't aiming at random drivers. He was going after working class Americans who were probably Trump supporters and were traveling between Oregon and Washington. It's not just a road, it links important military bases, gold transport routes, and important QFS infrastructure. If they had disrupted it, those who wanted to bring down the system from the inside would have won. Cascada Carbon, WIC's climate tech company, isn't what it seems. We've seen this pattern before. Fake green companies used as fronts for extremist coordination, money laundering in other countries, and encrypted communication. Portland, San Francisco, Seattle have already seen similar setups. Wick's archive posts show that he openly supports decolonization campaigns, attacks Trump, and calls for shutting the system down. And everybody knows they are the system. They've been there forever, yo. Trump's the fucking trying to fight the system, but they're going to make it look opposite. That's all they're doing. That's what all the race is. They tortured black and brown forever. They're making it look like they're fighting white races. It's all inversion, satanic bullshit. If you ain't figured it out, that's on you, man. In a video that was later taken down, he said, he's a fascist to promote the No Kings protest. We're going to stop this machine. That wasn't a metaphor, it was a plan. And this attempt to use an IED was part of the plan. Portland has been a base for globalist backed insurgency tactics for a long time. Hey, I always wonder why there's no black people in Portland for a long time. The police department was empty. Radical operatives were put in place. But now, because of Trump's emergency powers and military rule, these areas are no longer off limits. This arrest is another step towards bringing the country back under control. Wick was caught in a coordinated effort by the FBI, Portland Police, and federal explosive teams that all worked together. When they searched his house, they found more parts for the device and encrypted equipment. This wasn't a lucky break, it was a planned takedown that happened because Trump's intelligence agency is back in charge. This was a failed attack, but it's not over yet. The same networks are still in use. The same groups that are trying to stop Trump's economic reset and the quantum financial system transition are still giving money to Soros Foundation, ESG Coalition, and NGOs linked to Davos. Expect more assaults on highways, grids, and systems for communication. Expect false flags that are blamed on patriots. Expect things to get worse. But you should also know that the military is ready. EBS is ready to go. The economy backed by gold is loading. They are losing their grip. We're getting the republic back. This time, we'll finish it. We got one more. The collapse wasn't shown on TV, it was planned. The World Economic Forum, once the untouchable stronghold of technocratic rule, has been broken into, taken apart, and revealed from the inside. There was no scandal here, it was a takedown. White hat operatives inside the Davos machine have broken the illusion of global unity and shown how it has committed crimes, like meddling in elections, forcing people to get medical treatment, taking land under the guise of climate policy, and quietly tagging every person for control. By early 2024, white hats had taken internal papers, secret recordings, and classified communications that showed WEF leaders were involved in laundering more than 400 billion in climate funds through fake NGOs, debt traps, and stealing digital assets. The planet was never their goal. It was having land, food, and energy under the guise of justice. They enslaved farmers, wiped out the rights of indigenous people, and used fake charity to stage policy coups. But it didn't end there. Files from WEF servers from the, you know what, I can't say that on YouTube, era that were found in late 2024 show that lockdowns were planned ahead of time. The media bribery networks existed, and that biometric rollout plans had been in place since 2017. I can't say it on YouTube, were tools. The crisis was planned. In early 2025, whistleblowers started leaking the darkest parts. Secret digital ID tests in Canada, Australia, and Germany. These plot programs brought together health status, credit behavior, and social media tracking. without asking for permission. People weren't seen as people, they were seen as programmable units. The internal WEF, World Economic Forum, planning memos called them behavioral clusters and data yield nodes. Schwab's smart prison was real and almost ready to go. Arrogance ruled inside Davos. Audio from a roundtable in January 2024 shows CEOs joking about crashing markets on command and blackmailing officials into passing carbon tax laws. The White Hats now have proof that the WEF paid for riots, rigged elections, used AI to silence dissent. The walls fell down in March 2025. Schwab's retirement was forced. Exit. Important allies changed sides. More than a dozen countries have started criminal investigations. The facade of elite immunity broke. The fallout has started now on June 21st. Trade deals that are linked to WEF goals are falling apart. ESG scams are falling apart. A forensic audit is going on at Deutsche Bank, HSBC, and other big banks that are connected to Davos. People in charge are leaving. Digital ID systems are being shut down. The cabal's nerve center for coordination is lost, and panic spreads through the halls of global power. This is only the start. The information taken from the WEF taken down is already being used to attack the WHO, BIS, and every fake humanitarian group that worked with Davos to make money. A summer disclosure is coming that will be global, undeniable, and the end of the old system. It used to work in the dark, but now it burns in front of everyone. The WEF went down. The illusion was broken, and from it ashes comes the real reset, one that was not written by tyrants, but by free people. Breaking. Obama and Biden gave money to Iran's war machine. Indictments are coming from the grand jury. Obama sent 400 million in foreign cash to Tehran on January 17, 2016 without telling anyone. 2 days later, there were 13 wire transfers of almost 100 million each. The total is 1.3 billion. This wasn't diplomacy. They wanted money. The hostages weren't let go until the money hit the ground. And it didn't end there. That money caused fear to spread throughout the Middle East. Hamas doubled the number of rockets it had. Hezbollah improved its precision missile program. And the Houthis got Iranian drones that made holes in the Red Sea shipping. The serial numbers on the cash that was taken matched pictures taken in Tehran. Washington, on the other hand, stayed quiet. The press called it brave diplomacy. Americans who were real buried their sons. Then Biden showed up. His administration quietly freed up 10 billion in frozen Iranian assets in 2014. The money went through high-end banks that were linked to Davos. Iranian-funded militias stormed Israel's borders, funded Hamas command centers, and sent drone swarms that shook the world's energy markets. At the same time, people who worked at BlackRock made record short positions on U.S. gas. It wasn't a coincidence that the timing was right. When Trump took office again on January 20th, 2025, he froze all accounts linked to Iran and called for a full forensic audit. What it found was much worse than the original scandal. More than 5.6 billion had been funneled through fake companies in Frankfurt, Doha, and Johannesburg, with links to IMF members and WEF advisors. Intelligence reports had warned about this years ago, but Obama supporters hid them by putting them under classified labels. Kash Patel, the Attorney General, called a federal grand jury on June 3rd, 2025. John Kerry, Victoria Nuland, and Janet Yellen all got subpoenas. Sources say that Obama could be charged with giving material support to terrorism. Biden is named in a plot to get around U.S. sanctions. There is no doubt about the trail. Special ops even stopped a drone carrying encrypted Iranian communication equipment that had been bought with money that Biden had given away. The supplier, a shell company in Shanghai that is linked to the son-in-law of a World Bank official. They preached climate justice, but they gave weapons to people who were against the republic. The media isn't saying anything. Big tech is stopping all leaks, but the people are aware. Trump's exclusive order 0033 now lets the government take assets from any bank or NGO that is connected to these operations. The Treasury is already raiding. H.R. 2184 is making its way through Congress to take away immunity from all officials involved. June 23rd, 2025. This is not politics anymore. It's the survival of the nation. Either traitors are caught or betrayal becomes the norm. The grand jury is ready. The whole country is watching. The elite's fear is real. It's time for them to go. And that's it. All right. So I don't think I see any comments. So yeah, peace and love till next time. Mike Teller News special report. Much love.